Okay, welcome back. This video, I'm going to share the correct structure you should be using on your Google Ads campaigns for your insurance company to get more volume, to get higher quality lead flow, to get a reduced cost per acquisition, cost per lead, cost per sale, and also just an easier, manageable account that you can actually utilize identified trends and basically optimize easier. So who am I? My name's Brandon. I'm a digital marketing agency called Grow My Insurance. We help insurance companies get more policy sales, more leads, more customers coming directly to them. So not selling leads, not lead provider, not sticking you on an aggregated panel, just putting in acquisition systems that just get more customers coming directly to you so you can convert better, sell easier, get higher quality leads, and just have a bit more of a joyful selling experience. I'm going to leave all my links in the description of this video. You can check it out. If you've got any messages, shoot me up on LinkedIn. I post a lot of content on LinkedIn, so feel free to give me a connection on there. If you're interested, check it out. If not, no problem. Just watch this video, take away the key lessons, implement it into your insurance company, get better leads, get better sales, reduce your overall costs, get higher volume, and you're going to be happy either way, right? So cool, let's jump into this. So how to actually correctly structure your Google Ads campaigns. The reason I'm making this video is we audit a lot of accounts. We take on new clients who have already existing campaigns, already existing, either tried Google Ads or currently running Google Ads. We see the same problems. They're overcomplicated accounts, too many campaigns, too many ad sets, a lot going on, really hard to identify where the issues are, which means that when you go to optimize the campaigns, it's just an absolute nightmare because you don't understand really where the trends are, what's working, what's not. Biggest problem is there's a lot of methods that worked in Google maybe 8 months ago, 12 months ago, for example, single keyword ad sets that just don't work now. They're not as effective now with a lot of the changes that Google have brought in. So this is the campaign structure that we're using to get our clients better results, reduce cost, higher lead flow, better quality, and just an overall easier experience in managing campaigns. What I'm going to do is explain the structure that we use, and I'm going to break it down into a few different things. Now, I'm just going to give some examples, write this out on Miro, and really just lay out my thought process here. So I'm going to use a few different sort of niches and products. Typically, these probably aren't always going to be the things that would go together, but, you know, we're going to roll with it anyway. So let's just use, for example, home insurance, car insurance, and breakdown insurance. These are basically your product lines, right? Now, really depending on what product you have, the size of that product, and how broad you're keeping this as a whole. So, for example, home insurance is extremely broad. Car insurance is extremely broad. You've got SUVs, you've got modified cars, performance cars, you know, low value cars, a lot of these different things. So that can't just be brought into one aspect. And then you've got breakdown as a whole. It's either car breakdown, van insurance, heavy goods vehicle breakdown, but a lot of it is the same type of stuff. So as you can see, there's a few different methods there. So what we would then do, depending on what we're advertising and the size of the market, is we break this down into subcategories. So these are going to be your product lines. So this is just going to be your identifications. And then we're going to break that down. So for example, home insurance would be landlord. Home insurance would be your contents cover. Home insurance would be your contents. And then home insurance would be, you know, your buildings cover. Okay. So the idea here is that these are the campaigns. So because landlord is, you know, if somebody looking for landlord insurance, it's going to be a different type of client who actually looks for contents insurance, you know, single home contents insurance for personal use. Car insurance, okay, you've got, you know, SUVs. You've also got modified. Okay, and then maybe you've got, you know, just standard cars. So these are going to be maybe your Audis, your BMWs, that type of stuff, okay? And then you've got breakdown, which realistically is just breakdown on its own. For me, I can't really see how we would break this down into anything more than what it is, okay? So highlighted in red is going to be your campaigns, okay? So these are the actual campaigns that you would select. So for each individual product as such, you would actually create a campaign, okay? So your home insurance would have its individual products. Your car insurance would have its individual products. And then the breakdown being that it isn't really split into anything more than what breakdown is, then it just gets split into its own campaign. So if let's just use, you know, camera insurance, for example, it just gets split into a single campaign of camera. We use cycle insurance, for example, it just gets split into a single campaign of cycle insurance. And then, so from there, you'd identify your actual ad groups. So what we tend to use is a main ad group. And the main ad group is basically where you have your main volume. So these are going to be your broader type of keywords. These are going to be your general keywords. that just fit directly into that product. So for example, landlord insurance, the keyword landlord insurance would come under your main volume ad group. The same with contents insurance would come under your main volume ad group. Anything highlighted here in blue is going to be your ad group. So what we'd use is then this same structure. It's not the easiest drawing to understand, but you can get the point. So what we do here is then connect these. So just for the sake of this video, I've just changed up the view just so we can get a better understanding of actually what's going on here. So basically each campaign has its main volume. So realistically, this is where your core traffic will come from. This is where your higher volume keywords will come from. And this is really where your bulk of your volume comes from. Okay. Now within there, you then would actually break this down further into volume products within inside that. Okay. So we just use the car one for an example. And again, I'm thinking in the moment here, so you could go a lot deeper than this, but we're just going to break it down roughly. So let's just say within the SUVs, there's some popular model types. Okay, so you've got, for example, Range Rover. Okay, not really a product that people are going to want to write, but you know, it is what it is. And then you've got within there, you've just got maybe Land Rovers as a whole. Okay, and then maybe you've got BMW under standard. You know, you've got Audi. And then you've got BMW. And then within the breakdown as such, you've also got a car breakdown. And then maybe you've got a van. And then within things like landlords, okay, now there's going to be subcategories within the landlord, and there's going to be subcategories within content. There are going to be certain products that you don't actually have subcategories within that product. You're just going to have that one single product line. And again, it really depends on what you're advertising for, but I'm sure you can get an idea here. And then from here is where you will then add in additional ad groups. Okay. So the whole structure here, and really what you're trying to identify is less campaigns, less ad sets, and just keeping things fairly broad. Now, we get a lot of questions about this and why this works, but you have to understand that these platforms, Google, Facebook, any of the sort of campaigns really that you set up and marketing platforms, is they're trying to optimize for machine learning, data, and you know, it goes a lot deeper than just keywords. Okay, you need to identify these platforms are trying to figure out who your perfect customer is, when they convert, what type of interests, what type of things they do, their search behaviors. There's a lot of information that you just do not see on the front end of these platforms. The problem is when you have loads of campaigns, loads of ad sets, single keyword ad sets, there's not enough data per campaign because the actual campaign is where it's optimized. So you're optimized at the campaign level, which means you want to feed as much information into each campaign as possible for that type. And then you optimize further at the ad group level. What this allows you to do is quickly identify what's working, what's not, and then optimize from there. So this is the structure that we use when we create campaigns. This is the structure that we use when we optimize campaigns. And to be honest, typically when we take on an account, for example, spending 10, 20, 30,000 pounds a month, we actually reduce their campaigns and their ad groups by around about 70%. We get increased volume, we get decreasing cost and an increase in quality by adding this in. Okay, so that's the structure and how to correctly set up your campaigns, how to correctly structure your campaigns within Google to get better improved volume, better improved quality and a decrease in cost and just an overall ease of use in campaigns. If you've got any questions, just shoot them below. But appreciate you watching this video. I hope you found some value and thanks for watching.